What's up, guys? Don't judge me. I forsook my shower today to sit here in a bath, which is not something I am accustomed to. Welcome to today's video. Today, we're gonna be doing something a little bit weird and a little bit different, but my BFF, RedHeadRedemption, made a video recently. Well, now not so recently, but when I had this idea, it was quite recent that she had uploaded this video, entitled Weird Thoughts from My Bathtub. So I thought, Paige is a fucking genius. I wanna bank on this too, so let's go ahead and do a reply video. I think this is like my first reply video ever where I respond to some of her weird thoughts, because let me tell you, while I was watching that video, I was cringing like half the time. I love you, Paige, you're so amazing, but some of these can be easily explained. And yes, Paige knows I'm doing this video and she thought it was a good idea as well. We talked about maybe making some kind of series, so if you want to see us do stuff together, even though we can't be together right now, I miss you, Paige. And on top of that, I also want to add in some of my own weird thoughts from the bathtub, and maybe that can facilitate a part 2 for both of us. Post in the comments, let me know if you like this kind of thing, and go give Paige some love. Tell her I sent you. Obviously, I'm not gonna reply to every single thing in the video, so if you wanna watch the entire video, it's actually quite a good video. You can go check it out in the card on one of these sides, I'm not sure which. Without further ado, let's go ahead and watch my girl's video and get into this replying. This is gonna be fun.
Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to I have cramps, but I'm not gonna let that stop me, so I'm in a bathtub today doing the precarious thing of holding my mic thing while having a lapel thing in my ear. I'm sure Tara would have a better way to do this.
I do have a better way to do that. It's called a shotgun mic. Ah, I'm slipping. But to her credit, she definitely works with what she has as a non-production person, and her ingenuity always surprises me. You can tell I have a girl crush, right?
Let me see if I can get situated. Oh, got the wire in the water. Can that electrocute me?
No.
So, I know this is very strange, but a long time ago, I started making a list that are just weird thoughts. My first weird thought. What if your dad was The Rock?
I would want to fuck my dad. Just kidding. I'm gonna skip this one, but it's an interesting take, I would say.
What happens when you get old and fat in a relationship?
I think what happens when you get old and fat is you thankfully stop caring as much about sex, because your sex drive, both male and female sex drive, is gonna go down when you're older. And hopefully you've chosen a partner well so that you can actually get along with each other outside of those things. Okay, I'm just gonna add one of my strange thoughts in here because it's relevant to this. Something that I remember from my childhood was feeling like I would never ever like guys my age once I got 20 or 30. I thought 20 or 30-year-old guys, aside from like one or two celebrity crushes that looked really prepubescent to me still, I thought they were like old fogies. Does anyone else feel this way as well, where you thought when you were a kid that there's no possible way you're gonna be attracted to people your age when you're an adult? I was actually worried I would become a pedophile or something because I was like, I only like 12-year-old boys. What if I never stop liking 12-year-old boys? Thankfully not a problem, but perhaps that could be one of the reasons that older couples still fuck, or try to, because they're now more attracted to people that age.
Oh my god, my whole wire is in the bath. Probably not cute. How cute am I right now?
Everything Paige does is cute, so.
Next weird thought. Did you know that the Oval Office is on the first floor?
Okay, the way I discovered this was because I watched comedians in cars getting coffee. You know, the Jerry Seinfeld little short Netflix show or whatever. And he went with Barack Obama and he went and picked him up. And in the beginning, he's like outside of the Oval Office on the ground floor looking into the Oval Office. But I too agree that you would think that the most presidential of things would be happening higher up. You always think the more important shit is happening on the second or third floors of places, right? I guess it would be kind of hard to get the big ass desk of the Oval Office up the stairs. Paige, we should get high together.
What is with this crazy white hair, gray hair trend? Okay, I'll admit, some girls can pull it off.
100% agree. I really hate when, because I have platinum blonde hair, people will be like, you would look so good with white hair. And I'm like, why would I want to accelerate my aging, as Paige says in this video, for a trend? That's insane. Like, I've always always liked the platinum blonde, like one color look, but I like having this amount of yellow in it. To me, it just looks better. I don't know if I grew up too much with like Playboy Playmates who had that like crisp white hair with that little tint of yellow, but crisp white hair without that tint of yellow just looks literally old.
Definitely, I think guys can pull it off way better than girls.
She just wants to fuck girls.
Maybe you can pull it off if you have like literally the youngest face ever, not a single line, and then you can kind of look like edgy.
Not me.
Is there a certain age where like age gaps no longer apply, where it's like not a thing?
Okay, so I'm not really good at math, Paige, but if the age gap between the two people doesn't get exponentially bigger with their actual ages, then it's not gonna be viewed the same, obviously. A 10-year-old probably shouldn't be fucking around. Well, a 10-year-old shouldn't be dating anyone ever. But a 10-year-old, if they're going to do some little cute fake dating, they shouldn't be dating someone who's 14. Like, that sounds like some crazy shit, right? But then when you think about a 20-year-old and a 27-year-old, like, that's fine. And then later on, as long as it's a 30-year-old and a 40-year-old instead of a 30-year-old and a 10-year-old, it's probably okay. So I think it works exponentially where as long as the gap doesn't keep getting wider and wider, the age definitely makes the age gap less weird. That being said, I think it's fucking disgusting that people even care about age gaps. As long as the person is mature enough, like the maturity level is pretty even. I don't even want to add the stipulation that possibly if there's some kind of power dynamic, this shouldn't be the case. Because I do believe that a young woman has a lot of power just like an older man with a career has a power, and that's why they get together, because they are in a transactional relationship where what the young girl wants and what the old guy wants, it coincides. Old guy wants a younger, more attractive, fertile girlfriend. Young girl wants someone who's more mature and can take care of her and give her money. Those things work hand in hand. I can't even do it. You don't know what one person has to offer the other person, so judging is like super gross to me. Like, I saw what happened when Zach Braff's girlfriend, yeah, the Scrubs guy, he had a birthday recently, and his girlfriend, who's much younger than him, posted like, oh my god, I love this guy so fucking much on Instagram. Here's the post here. And a lot of people were saying that Zach Braff is disgusting for dating someone who's like 20, 21. Like, really?
Nobody talks about coffee pee, okay? As soon as you go potty, you got coffee pee. If you had coffee recently, you know what I'm saying? So if you're drinking like 5 cups of coffee a day, well, you just piss in coffee.
I had like coffeeist in the morning for my breakfasts, which is a Soylent that has coffee in it. And literally for months when I was doing that, I was sweating coffee, I was peeing coffee, I was a coffee monster. And yeah, I've literally never heard anyone else mention coffee pee to the point where I was like, is there something wrong with me? We need to mention these weird things more often so that it normalizes the very normal things that people don't want to talk about. Like, for instance, doesn't everyone bleed from their anus when they take a shit? I'm kidding, guys.
Have you seen the writing on the fucking Declaration of Independence, on the Constitution? Have you seen this shit? How the fuck these people know how to write and write so well?
Okay, we use our hands for stuff like writing so little these days. I was like the last class that was even taught cursive at all, and I think everyone younger than me, I don't think they were ever even taught cursive. Now, times that by like 150 years or however long it's been. Back then, they were probably taught that it is absolute paramount to take like a feather pen and be like a god with it. Nowadays, I literally write once a month with my hand. And you know what it's for? Autographed images on Patreon. Link in the description. Moving on.
Why does everyone like Gucci bags? It's not cute. It's so busy.
100% agree. I don't like any bags, especially not just because of their brand. Ugh.
Why does every dog paw, and cat paw for that matter, but mostly dog paw, they all smell like Fritos?
The fuck?
Yeah, Fritos. How all these people in all these movies be sleeping on their guns and their knives? Like Laura Croft.
No.
Laura Croft. Or some CIA bitch during the heater or whatever, like she wakes up, she's boom, knife right from under my pillow, boom, gun under my pillow.
No.
I can see the gun, maybe it's on safety, but like, what if you just start sleeping really hard and your head like rubs your pillow really hard and you're tossing and turning and you just like flip that switch?
There is no possible way that sleeping on top of your gun or sleeping on top of your fucking knife is going to actually trigger either of those things to go off and kill you. Like, there's no possible way. And even with the safety on, like, what the fuck? This is like a misconception people have about guns. That like, it's so easy for them to just go off. Like, if you discharge a gun negligently, it's a negligent discharge. Like, it's not just an accident. You're doing something that one of like the top 5 rules of gun safety tells you explicitly to literally never do. Don't get me started on people who have misconceptions about guns that make people more afraid of them. If you're trained and you respect the firearm, it will never go off in unexpected ways, ever. And everyone, in my opinion, should be trained. So this is an annoying rant. I'm sorry. I apologize. Nitpicking, of course.
Why do people get video game tattoos?
Ah! Okay, I'm gonna play this whole point that she made because this is the one that triggered me into really, really wanting to do this. Because right here, are you seeing what I'm showing? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? How do I do it? I don't know how to show you my foot, okay? It would be better if I just put a picture. So here's a picture of my foot tattoo. I obviously don't take actual offense to this, but let's just hear what she has to say and I'm gonna debunk that shit for you, okay?
In 40 years, you're gonna be like, you know what? I don't care about Kirby anymore. I mean, unless you have some amazing childhood memory with your dad and you played Kirby and whatever, I can understand that. But I feel like a lot of people get video game tattoos, so they're like, oh, this is cool. I like the artwork from this video game. Let me just like paste it onto my body for eternity. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I love tattoos, don't get me wrong.
So this idea of like getting a tattoo and then regretting it later doesn't really make much sense to me. I do think that the tattoo should have some meaning to you. The idea that a video game you play in the moment that you like a lot and then get a tattoo of isn't gonna be relevant to you later on is a little bit weird. There are two ways that people can see an older tattoo that isn't ridiculously relevant to them in the present. One is that my body is a canvas and each little tattoo reminds me of points in my life that I really enjoyed or mean something to me, like a hurdle that I've overcome. It's a reminder to keep pushing forward and to keep changing, and that little parts in your life are things that you can look back on with nostalgia and still appreciate without still being a part of you now. Another way to see it is that you get video game tattoos of games that changed your life forever. And it is very easy for me to imagine, because I have one, a reason why I would get a video game tattoo even though I don't play Mario every single day. The reason I have my Super Mario Brothers tattoo is because those characters are the reason that I got into gaming. Gaming is a huge part of who I am today and a huge part of my life. And when I see that tattoo and when I remember those characters, even if I don't like the newer renditions of Mario, which I don't like them that much because a lot of them are 3D and I don't like 3D Mario that much. But when I see those characters, it reminds me of a time that made me who I am as a gamer, as a person even. So it doesn't have to be a game that you're continuously playing or still caring about Kirby a lot. It just has to mean that Kirby meant something to you in your formidable years, or it was a time that you look back upon nostalgically. But the third way you can see it is that video game character is fucking cool. I love that game and my body is just to put a bunch of colorful shit on it and make it look good.
Who are the people who click on ads?
Jay is the people who clicks on ads. If you go through his Instagram, it's literally one organic post ad, one organic post ad. And I was looking through his once and I was like, why is this happening? It's like hot titty bitch ad, hot titty bitch ad. Whereas my experience on Instagram is totally the opposite. I have one ad per like 100 posts and I realized Jay gets sucked into these fucking products and clicks on them and then sends them to me and he's like, Tara, look at this thing. Look at this fucking thing. It's so cool. I'm gonna buy it. He's bought at least 5 things in the last couple years that I can think of from either Facebook or Instagram ads, which are basically the same thing because they're owned by the same company. But really? And then I told him, you gotta stop clicking on ads if you don't want ads, and you gotta start like clicking and saying, I'm not interested in the ads, and then you'll go back to a normal experience. So he's like, oh my God, that's so cool. He does it. And then a week later, he's full of ads again because he's sending me more ads of things that he wants to buy that are gonna make him do the splits or some ridiculous shit. Oh my God.
People with like whiskey in their offices. In TV shows like Suits and whatever, they always have a whiskey in their, like, how do you get anything done? Being drunk ass motherfucker.
So I think I understand the culture behind rich, sophisticated men having alcohol in their offices, and I do think that this is a thing that happens in real life. It's not just a movie thing. I think part of being a strong, powerful man is being able to hold your alcohol. So when you offer another potentially strong, powerful man who you're gonna do business with alcohol, you're trying to gauge whether or not he can hold his super fucking hard liquor. I think this is like a fucking cock measuring power play thing between guys. This is my theory. I literally think they're drinking it all day so that they can build up a tolerance so that when some other guy threatens his fucking masculinity or white coloredness in his own office, he can be like, glug, glug, glug. I had 3 of those things. You know how much that costs? I don't care about the money or the amount of alcohol in my system right now. I am completely sober. I think it is a status thing. Really curious what people think about that take because I think it's a hot take. Okay, that's all I have for this video in terms of reacting to, I didn't fart, I moved my leg across the floor of my fucking bathtub. Okay, I'm uncomfortable. This isn't something I do normally. Shut the fuck up. My spray tan's coming off. The water's not even fucking watercolored anymore, which is not a color. The bath color has a color now, okay, is what I'm basically trying to say. But I wanted to add to this so I don't just feel like I'm stealing content and repurposing it with a horrible fucking response to all of these things. I wanted to add a few of my own random weird thoughts here today that I did not write down, so hopefully I can think of things / remember things that I wanted to write down but didn't because I'm irresponsible. Okay, so I watched these 2 true crime / like drama channels, right? Both of them purport to love love this kind of stuff, yet they can't even pronounce the words. Ready to Glare and Stephanie Harlow, when they do their ads, Stephanie Harlow says documentary instead of documentary.
2,000 documentaries and documentary series.
And Ready to Glare, when she's talking about Shudder, says suspense instead of suspense.
Thrillers, suspense, and horror.
Now, no hate on these girls, but why can't you guys say fucking common words? That's one thing. Another one I want to know is why are there so many people talking shit about the negative effects of porn and how men get unrealistic expectations about sex from porn, yet they don't hold that standard almost ever to any other form of art? It is very, very rare that I hear people talk about how romance novels fuck the shit out of what women should expect from men in a relationship. Romance novels, okay. Porn, bad. That makes no fucking sense to me at all in the slightest. Their argument is always, men will get unrealistic expectations on how to treat women and it's harmful to them, but not women and Ryan Gosling. What's up with that, huh? And not only like unrealistic expectations that women and men can't hold up to in the real world ever, it's always like romanticizing, and by the way, I am a big fan of romanticizing literally anything, but when you don't understand that it is romanticization and not reality, that's where the problem lies. And a lot of girls think that it is healthy to be in a relationship where there's constant fucking chaos. Men should not have to show every 5 seconds that they will run after them and get them back because they love them so much, even though it's dysfunctional. I'm looking at Twilight, The Notebook. I haven't watched The Notebook, but I've heard the synopsis like 100,000 times. Am I saying either of those shouldn't exist? Absolutely not. I'm saying people should be smarter. I don't know why people see porn as any more real than Hollywood movies and why there should be an expectation that we need to teach anyone that. It's crazy. If you're gonna be one of those no fap, we need to shut down porn, we need to not have porn be part of your sex life ever, even if you don't have an addiction, then we also need to be one of those people that says shut down Hollywood entirely and have no fun and no fantasy because people don't have the agency to control their actions and have realistic expectations. That's not our responsibility to not give them things in which they can take completely ass backwards. Next, I guess, is going to be why people don't recognize their coping mechanisms better. I mean, they're so fucking obvious. What's going on in someone's mind when they start hating on something that they clearly want to have themselves and finding ways that that thing is bad now because they don't have it and they don't realize that they're doing that? How is it that there are so many haters at all anywhere that don't just have the minutest of self-awareness to understand that if you're gonna be toxic online, you're clearly venting or coping with something? You think they would have the foresight to be like, I'm hurting right now and I want to say this thing about this person, but if I say this thing, I'm gonna make myself look way worse. Why am I saying this thing in the first place? I need a therapist. That's what should be going on in their heads. Why does my tub say jacuzzi on it when it has no jets? It's just a tub. Why is it misbranded as a jacuzzi? That's what I want to know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go watch Paige, tell her I said what's up, and I love your fucking asshole, so keep spreading them cheeks for me. You're wonderful. Smile, don't forget it. I am so happy about the positive feedback I'm getting on my B-roll and my cinematic portions of the videos. Thank you so much. You're fucking amazing. I won't gush too much. I love you. Bye-bye. By the way, guys, this isn't just a rubber duck. It's actually a sex toy. It vibrates. Let's see if it still has battery. You hear that? Vibrating sex bath ducky. The more you know. It says duck me. Duck me. Last random thought. Don't you just love it when a guy is sexting you and he says something like, I want to duck you so hard, and it just takes you out of it and you just start laughing? Not relatable? Okay, maybe it's just me. Bye.